Okay, my friends, so now comes the exciting step, the step where we visualize the results of Thompson sampling and mostly the step where we're going to find out if Thompson sampling can beat the UCB algorithm. And about that, let me remind what we got with the UCB algorithm. Remember, that was, in the original implementation. Remember that with 10,000 rounds, well, the UCB was perfectly able to find the best ad, the ad with the highest conversion rate, which is of course the ad of index 4 or, ad number 5. Then remember, we tried with lower values of n. We first tried with 5,000 and indeed, still with 5,000, UCB was perfectly able to identify that best ad with the highest conversion rate. Then we even tried n equals 1,000, and with n 1,000 still, the UCB was perfectly able to find that best ad. However, in our copy, in our implementation of UCB, well, we tried n equals 500, and unfortunately, the UCB algorithm was not able to figure out the best ad, that ad of index 4 with the highest conversion rate in 500 rounds, right? It identified ad number 7. So what we really want to see now, when visualizing the results of Thompson sampling is if Thompson sampling can not only figure out that same best ad, with the highest conversion rate in 10,000 rounds first. We will start with 10,000 rounds, but mostly what we want to see is if it is able to figure out that best ad in less than 500 rounds, or 500 rounds. Because if that's the case, then that means Thompson sampling will beat the UCB algorithm. So, can't wait to try. I promise that I actually have no idea because, this is a new recording that I'm doing. And when I made these implementations, I only visualized the results with 10,000. So I'm discovering the results with you. And that's why I'm just super excited to not only show this to you, but also to myself. So we're all in the same row of seats, watching the same show. Okay, so let's do this. Enough talking. Let's click this folder here to, upload the dataset into the notebook. Let's not forget to do this because we actually have not run any cells so far. So right now it is connecting to a runtime to enable file browsing. And in a second, we should see, hopefully, the upload button. It is not coming, but sometimes it takes time. There we go. All right, so the upload button, let's click it. And now in your machine, please find the machine learning dataset folder wherever you put it and which you had to download at the beginning of each section, including this one. Then once you find it, let's go inside. Let's go to part 6 now, reinforcement learning, and section 33, Thompson sampling, and of course Python, and add CTR optimization. Let's click open, let's click OK, and now we have the dataset. So I suggest that we do a run all so that we can, quickly experiment with the different numbers of rounds. And we're going to start with 10,000, of course, just to make sure that Thompson sampling works correctly. So let's do this. Let's click runtime here and then run all. And now all the cells will be running, including this one. Everything seems to be all good. And whoa, that's actually even more incredible than the UCB algorithm. It seems that this ad of index 4 was actually very quickly identified as the best. So I'm actually very confident about that question, whether or not the Thompson sampling will beat UCB in the sense that it will be able to identify this ad of index 4 as the best one in less than 500 rounds, right? Clearly, all these other ads here are smashed with respect to this one, right? If we have a look at UCB again, see, the other ads are way more selected here than, this one. Okay, so I'm really, really confident about this. So I think we can directly not try 500, but, 1,000. So I'm going to remove a 0 here. All right. And then we're just going to do another runtime and then restart this time and run all so that we can restart everything and rerun all the cells. So yes, here. And now all the cells will be running again with this 1,000 rounds now. And let's see the new results. And coming in a second, there we go. Okay, so now with 1,000 rounds, of course, the other ads are a bit higher. The bars of these other ads are a bit higher because, of course, now we're on a different scale. We're only with 1,000 rounds. But still with 1,000 rounds, well, that ad of index 4 was way more selected than the others. And now, time for the ultimate truth. Will Thompson sampling beat the UCB algorithm? Meaning, will it be able to identify the best ad with the highest conversion rate in 500 rounds? Well, that's what we're about to figure out right away. So let's replace that 1000 value here by 500. Then let's click runtime again and then restart and run all. Are you ready? We're about to reveal the ultimate truth. Let's do this. Yes. And now all the cells will be running again. And let's see if Thompson simply can figure out the best ad in 500 rounds. And congratulations, Thompson sampling, it was indeed totally able to figure out that ad of index 4 with the highest conversion rate in as little as 500 rounds. So that was expected. I actually expected this because I knew from my educational background in machine learning, reinforcement learning was one of the topics I had at school in my Masters of Machine Learning, that indeed Thompson sampling is more powerful than UCB in most situations. And that's what we clearly see here, right? Even in 500 rounds, that ad of index 4 was way more selected than the others, almost twice as much as this first ad and twice as much as this one. So clearly Thompson sampling did an amazing job at quickly identifying that best ad with the highest conversion rate. So to the question, should I choose UCB or Thompson sampling? Well, of course you can try the two because, it just takes a few seconds to run the two. But if you have a doubt, well, I would suggest to go with Thompson sampling because indeed it is more powerful, it is faster to identify the element with the highest rate. So there we go. I was really happy to implement these two models with you, UCB and Thompson sampling, and I'm really glad that we enjoyed at the same time the final results on our notebook. And now we're going to move on to another branch of machine learning which has become super popular over the recent years. I'm talking about natural language processing, and it is the branch of machine learning that of course allows to build, chatbots or machine translations. So that's not what we will do in this part 7 because we will cover the basics with sentiment analysis, but still it is great that you're being introduced to this branch because if you want to pursue a career in NLP, well, this new chapter will definitely help you with the right basics. So I can't wait to see you in this next part, and until then, enjoy reinforcement learning and enjoy machine learning.